Hey everyone, how are you? Felix Bravo here, Vice President of International Growth. And today we have an amazing guest, Mr. Ahmed El Batrawi. If you haven't been keeping up with our social medias, we were just recently in Egypt and we were in front of the pyramids of Giza with Ahmed El Batrawi, our CEO, country leader of eXp Egypt. And we did a soft launch event for Egypt. We had, I think, about 1,000 people there. It was an amazing, amazing event. We got so much content out of it. We provided so much value. And we had so many great updates coming in from there. We did interviews with Forbes. There was so much excitement about what we're doing, not just in Egypt, but people pushing for what we're doing in the Middle East in general. And so we thought, what a better time than now to bring on Ahmed to the show. So why don't we bring him on right now? Ahmed El Batrawi, everybody.
Hey, Felix, how are you? Nice to meet you. We missed you guys in Egypt.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Good. How are you? Good. Everything is great. Thank you. Yeah, so we missed you guys. We missed you. We want you to come back. We want the whole eXp team to be back again to Cairo, to the Middle East. Yes.
Well, I will tell you that was one of the most. I don't even know how to explain it. People kept asking me what were the pyramids like, and I couldn't find words to explain what it was like to be there and see it in person. So we were all super involved with everything in Egypt and the hospitality, and as well as meeting all the agents that we did and learning more about the MLS that you're bringing to Egypt. And I think we've talked a little bit here on this show one time about what you're doing, but I think a lot of, especially American agents and then also agents who work internationally who don't understand why the MLS has value or understand what an MLS really does, right? Because there's all these MLSs in Italy and Germany and all these different countries, but it's truly different from what you're building. Why don't you tell people a little bit, just really quickly, about the MLS, the journey to get to where you're at now, and why we're so excited about what you're doing in Egypt with it?
It just started 15 years ago. I was, thinking about building the MLS, and I was in America. I always asked myself why we don't have an MLS at the Middle East. I lived my whole life in America, 37 years in America. And I always ask myself why there's no MLS in the Middle East. Why we're not using the MLS? But the time was not the perfect or the right time for us to have a system like the MLS. In 2020, I've been lucky, or like I worked so hard to secure the rights of the largest multiple listing service provider in North America, Canada, all over the world, CoreLogic. And I secured the rights at the whole Middle East through a company I own in Delaware. And I said, I want to start my journey to build the MLS at the Middle East. At the time that, people were like rejecting the idea, people didn't know anything about it, and people were going against the idea because they didn't understand the value for having a database that can have all the real estate listings, in a country, let's say like Egypt. And when we talk about Egypt, what a lot of people in the world doesn't know, that Egypt have over £1 trillion Egyptian pounds a year in transaction, or maybe more actually wow. More than trillion. Yes, trillion Egyptian pounds, which is billions of dollars. And huge projects, around 25 new cities has been built by the government. So there is huge momentum, and I think you saw it yourself when you came here to Egypt.
Yeah.
And I started working in Egypt at the whole Middle East. I traveled Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, which is Dubai, Abu Dhabi. And the idea, people started getting into understanding the value for having the MLS. When I implement the MLS, the challenge was, when you get a prop tech solution for a country that it's a little bit far away from prop tech, or the prop tech is not taking a big share of the market, I decide that I want to have a whole prop tech solution, which is I want to have the whole system, the brokerage, the smart brokerage, the multiple listing service, which is technology, the marketplace to generate the leads, and I have the whole thing. So came to eXp as the most technology advanced company today in the world, and largest by transaction, the whole business model that makes a lot of sense. And I decide, like it's eXp. Then we start the conversation. Then here we go now. We have an eXp launching in Egypt at any time now. And at any time, like we have to, because we have a lot of agents at the pipeline now. We don't know what to do with it. A lot of people getting a lot of momentum.
Well,
Then
there's so much excitement with. I mean, we saw it firsthand at the soft launch and at the MLS launch. There were so many agents who were ready to join that day, who are excited about what we're doing, excited about what you're doing, and we're so excited to launch. Do you think with the MLS, with the eXp and with the MLS, what for an agent in Egypt who wants to build their business, sell more homes, really take their business to the next level and stand out in their market, what do you think that combination of MLS and eXp together provides for an agent in Egypt?
It is the universal language, which is mean eXp was the power of the agents and the network and all the agents around the world, 22 countries. It's going to be 27 very soon. The MLS was all the metric system that use in all, maybe 90% or 95% of North America and all Canada, Mexico, some parts of Europe. So I think getting the data that people will understand, they can share, getting the information easy, access information to the inventory, having eXp was all their network and the power and the business model. This is gonna create a huge momentum to the Middle East, not in Egypt only, the whole Middle East real estate industry, by having the MLS and company like eXp. That was one of my main excitement. The good part is, Felix, is eXp as a company, the business model is very unique, different, and it's gonna open. It's not going. It's already open the eyes of a lot of people, brokers in Egypt and around the Middle East, for a new way they can do business. The business was, I don't want to say not fair, but it was the brokers or the agents didn't make much money, and they didn't get any technology or any benefit. By having eXp today with us at the MLS and join force with all this technology momentum, I'm not going to extreme here, but I'm going to say that Egypt can be around 5,000 to 6,000 agents in the matter of a year or two. Like, this is easy, simple, very simple, because today we're not even open and we have almost 600 agents at the pipeline, and they all excited about the MLS and the eXp business model together. Combining the business model together create huge momentum for the people at the real estate industry in Egypt and the Middle East.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that we will one day have those 5,000-6,000 agents and more than that in Egypt specifically, with everything that we're building. One of the things that I took away the most from my time in Cairo was just the amount of construction, right? Whether it was luxury properties, hotel, investment properties, residential. There was so much development happening between New Cairo, the new capital, all these different areas. And I know you've talked to me a lot about some of the areas in the North Coast that are becoming extremely in demand for international investors, international buyers. With all the construction and development that's happening, what benefit does an agent have with eXp being an international company? In my eyes, I think we have such a strong value proposition for developers, and we see that developers want to work with us across the world. They get to work with one company in 27, almost 27 now, different markets, and get that access. Do you think that's really important for the Egyptian agent, having access to that international buyers, international connections to bring them to those new developments?
Absolutely, Felix. Absolutely. And it's very important for Egyptian agents. And I think also you personally, Glenn, and all the international team and the corporate staff and the marketing team, you had guys in Cairo. We had the government visits to the new capital, and you see the excitement with the government and the brokers and everybody for having a company like eXp, and the connection, as a developers and governments, they're looking for the international exposure. They want to have a company like eXp that they have branches around the world. They have agents, real estate agents and brokers around the world. This is what Egypt wants now, with all the infrastructure and all the momentum is happening, roads, new cities, technology. So I think it's eXp fit perfectly fine with what's going on in Egypt now, especially with our MLS also.
Amazing. Well, I want to talk about one thing that I don't think we've actually ever talked about. We've talked about the MLS, we've talked about all the developments, the international buyers, but we haven't really publicly spoken about the CRM yet. And I think it's time we start dropping a little bit of that information, because what we've been seeing that you guys are building with eSystematic, the CRM platform that is coming to Egypt for eXp,
yes,
it's, in my eyes, a game changer. So I want you to talk a little bit about the CRM. I want you to, this might be a good opportunity for us to tease it a little bit. What is it that the CRM that we're building? What is the technology behind it? Why do you and your team have such a strong view from the agent's perspective? Because that's what I really loved, was when I saw you showing us the CRM, you were talking about, oh, and the agent can do this, and then for the agent, we should do that. And that's how you were making your decisions, which I absolutely, to me, that's the most important thing. So talk a little bit about the CRM that is going to be proprietary to eXp Egypt.
You told me I talk, so you're the boss. I'm gonna talk, okay? With your permission, I'm gonna talk, okay? So
I think it's time. I think it's time we talk about it.
I'm gonna say this. I just briefly. I work in real estate for over 25 years. I start with the first pay-per-click campaigns. I work with a lot of companies at the beginning, like Boomtown, like Real Geeks, like big companies in America that they build a great CRM. I create a lot of pay-per-click campaign with Google long time ago, which is 20 years ago. We create landing pages. So the idea is, when we decide that we're gonna have when I talk to you and Glenn, and we decide that we're gonna do something different, and that was our vision, to build for the whole Middle East, but we came as an eXp exclusive product. The CRM will be something completely is gonna blow everybody away with the technology, with everything is happening at the Middle East and even around the world. That what we're building for eXp today is a CRM. Will give the agents the ability is to see the commission, to get connected with all eXp agents around the world. For eXp agents internally, they're gonna be able to create campaigns, create their own website, which is, you're gonna get into the CRM. You're gonna plug your name, your MLS ID number, your agent ID with eXp. Then you'll be able to create your own website instant, pull the data, either manual or MLS. You name, like everything, like full access to your data, information, leads, create social media campaigns. You name, like there's too much we can discuss at the CRM.
Social media, the social media part, actually, I think is one of the, I haven't seen that in a lot of international CRMs. So one of the things I've realized, the way we view CRMs in the US is really different from the way CRMs are viewed internationally. But I haven't seen a ton of CRMs internationally that bring that social media component to it, building your own campaigns. And for a company like eXp, where we want our agents to push their brand forward, for them to be the face, for them to be the brand, this is an amazing tool. Can you deep dive that a little bit? What kind of social media campaigns can they do directly from their CRM?
Yes, absolutely. They can. We have templates ready, like 5-6 templates ready for the agents. It's designed by eXp and approved by eXp. They can change some colors. They can tweak some, pictures, photos, stuff like that. Then they can start entering the information for the listing. Either, and the good part is manual and MLS feed. We did it both ways, and that was the niche of the CRM. Then they can start plug the data. Then they can push it directly to all the social media, and they can start also through our team. They can start do a paid ad. We give them the way. Then we do all the research for the keywords and how much it's gonna cost, and we simplify the process to the agents, that they can create their own campaigns without paying crazy money to agency, that they can charge them money to create their own campaigns. So for me was, Felix, the user journey, which is mean we want to
Yeah.
have a user journey for the agents. We don't want to make it complicated. We want to make it as easy as we can for the agents through the CRM to plug and play. It's going to be some connection from Facebook. When you connect the CRM to the Facebook, you have to go through a certain process, but it's very simple. We try to simplify all this stuff. Once it's connected to Instagram, to LinkedIn, to Facebook, immediately you'll be able to push all your listings. You're gonna create your own listing. You're gonna connect it to your website. And at the Middle East, to talk about something like this is something like unbelievable. Like, it's just something completely new for the Middle East, completely new. And eXp will be the first in the whole Middle East. Yeah.
Well, it seems like we're doing the first a lot. There's a lot of firsts that
Absolutely,
eXp is having.
It is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of firsts coming in with the MLS, coming in with the new CRMs, the international exposure. There's so many pioneering things that we're doing in Egypt, and I'm gonna switch topic a little bit away from Egypt right now, because we've seen so much momentum we haven't even launched yet, and there's so much excitement, there's so much momentum that people are already asking about different countries in the Middle East. They're talking about Qatar, they're talking about Bahrain, they're talking about Saudi. What do you think in the future for eXp? Where do you think there's a potential for us to grow? I mean, I know my answer, but what do you think is the future of Middle East for eXp?
Oh, the good part for eXp, and I don't want to say this, but because we have eXp is a very powerful company, and we have the technology, and we already established a great business model in Egypt. Now we have it in Dubai. The CRM is going to Dubai. Then
Yep.
As offering technology, I don't think any other company will be able to offer what we offer in the Middle East, especially. And just because of the fact that we came at the right time, we already secured the markets. We already have interest, and this, and I know this. We already have interest in too many Gulf regions, and they want to open eXp. And and it's very interesting at the Middle East and the Gulf area, because the markets and the culture is completely different here. It's not, the competition is not like what we have in America. They want to work with one company. They feel comfortable when the people work with the company and they feel comfortable with it. They're not willing to change. And eXp came with a completely new business model, changing. And I'm not gonna extreme, but I'm gonna tell you this. I've been in business for a long time. I own multi-million-dollar companies throughout the world, and I'm gonna tell you, eXp business model will blow away. It will just take over the whole Middle East, and I'm not saying the Middle East, the whole world. It's the international, and the vision I saw in you guys convinced me to say, I want to be part of this momentum. You know what I'm saying? I'm building, and I'm not gonna say this, I'm building a big size company at the Middle East Technology, but I was like, this is it. eXp is gonna complete the whole momentum. It's gonna complete the whole business model. So I see eXp changing the game at the Middle East completely, between Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates. Of course, we have an office now in Dubai, and very soon we're gonna have another office. So it's just like, I'm so happy and lucky and honored to work with you guys.
I think every once in a while you get a sort of a perfect storm that creates a really unique opportunity. And for us, and for you, and for the agents, for everybody, the perfect storm was the timing of the MLS, the timing of the booming market in Egypt, with all the construction and the billions and billions of dollars the government is investing in building and attracting more buyers. The timing of eXp being ready to really enter Egypt and the rest of the Middle East, it created sort of this perfect storm where we're able to create one of the strongest value propositions that I've seen from any brokerage ever for a market like Egypt. So we're creating this extremely value prop heavy with technology, with international connections, with new developments, with the MLS, with transparency around the data, which is something we could even talk about, which is such a game changer for what's happening in Egypt. And so I think we're all extremely excited. From our end, I know our agents are always writing me about you. They're like, oh, I saw Ahmed on Forbes. I saw Ahmed on this talking about, and they love seeing you be on all these different social media platforms, all these different media outlets. They love seeing it, and it gets them excited, and they hear about the MLS. And so I think it's a very unique opportunity that we all get to be a part of, because I think this is going to be something very special. And I think we're going to provide a opportunity for agents to really truly build their business in Egypt, build their brands, and expose their markets to more international connections. And I'm excited to see what happens over the next 3 or 4 years. I know we're going to be in, I think we're going to be in the North Coast at the end of summer. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes. We're planning for a big event, way larger event at the beach, and we're working on it now in Alamein. And we're going to have 2 events in Egypt, one a summer and one at the winter also, 2 big events. So we should have a lot of events in Egypt, because we should be running our business, like eXp should be running very soon, like in a matter of, I don't want to say like maybe days, maybe like, so
days?
we're working on it. We're working on it. People getting upset with me, Felix. People wants to work. They want to sell real estate. It's like, we want to have eXp. But technically we're already like finalized everything. So we're almost there.
Okay. Amazing. Well, listen, Ahmed, I think once we're officially open, we're going to be doing a lot more of these type of contents, just giving a what's going on. And I think I'll be honest with you, I think the thing secretly agents are going to be the most excited about is the CRM platform. I think that's going to be a really big hit, and our agents are going to really want to see it. So I'm excited to, once we're there, which it sounds like we're really, really close, to start doing presentations of the CRM for the agents and expose that to all of eXp and let them see what is being built in Egypt, and then to all the agents around Egypt as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to jump on. I already miss Egypt. I already miss you guys. I was there, a week ago, and I'm already missing you guys. I'm excited to go back. I'm excited to partner with you and to be able to build something this special. And I think you're the right person in the right time to build eXp.
Thank you. And you guys also the right people. You guys also the right people. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Ahmed, thank you so much. If you guys want to reach out to Ahmed via social media, go look him up on Instagram. Ahmed's everywhere. LinkedIn, YouTube. You can find, if you just Google his name, you're going to get 100 news articles. So I'm sure you'll find it. But thank you, Mr. El Batrawi, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye, Felix. Thank you very much.
Of course. What an amazing opportunity that eXp Egypt is. Seriously, guys, bringing the MLS to Egypt, having it regulated, which is the major key difference, and driving that transparency around the data. Right now, consumers go on all these portals and there's duplicate listings, there's fake listings. And for buyers, that creates a little bit of, not a little bit, but it creates a decent amount of distrust, especially for the international buyer. And Egypt being such an amazing market that's going through this insane amounts of construction and new development, so much investment to turn this into an international hub, the MLS driving that transparency and data will now unlock a new sector of the international market that previously might have been scared to put their feet in the water in Egypt. And eXp is coming in right at the right time with the right people, and Ahmed and some of the other partners that we're working with in Egypt. And then as well as the CRM, I'm telling you, I haven't been an agent. I've tried almost every single CRM that's available to me in the States, and I've seen all of the CRMs that we're in internationally, and we have some amazing platforms, but I'm really, really pumped about what the CRM we're building in Egypt, because I think it is a game changer for agents, and it will be proprietary to eXp Egypt. So you won't be able to get it anywhere else. And now eXp Dubai. So I think there's some potential to see what happens there with that platform. Anyways, we're extremely excited about eXp Egypt. Thank you to Ahmed for having him on the show. We are getting closer and closer to eXpCon Barcelona that is in June, in the summer, in Barcelona. If you want to find the place where all of our agents are going to come from around the world, all of our leadership team, we gather, you're going to be in a room with some of the top professionals at eXp, some of the top leaders at eXp, some of the top agents at eXp, June 23rd through the 25th, eXpCon International Barcelona, our second ever. We're all extremely excited. The country leaders from every single country at eXp are going to be there, and you'll have the opportunity to spend time with them. We're almost sold out. I think we've already close to doubled what we did for eXpCon International last year. So an extremely exciting room to be in. If you want to be where the pros go to grow, then you have to be in those rooms where the pros are at. And this is definitely one of them. So take advantage of that opportunity. Also, follow us for BAMI at YouTube. You can see us here, Big Agent Meeting International on YouTube every other Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern. We're super excited. This is my favorite show. This is probably one of the favorite parts of what I get to do at eXp is connecting with all of our country leaders, connecting with top agents, and then bringing them here in a place where you guys can all have access to them as well and learn what's happening. We're all about transparency, and we're all about keeping you guys connected and updated. I think you'll see that this show will start to evolve a little bit as time goes on, and we're learning what makes the most sense and how we should be putting these out there and how we can drive as much value to you guys and get you the information you want to know. So some exciting things happening with Big Agent Meeting International as well. As always, I'm your host, Felix Bravo. If you please take out your phones and scan the QR code and do the NPS, fill out the survey. We really, really value all of your feedback. We take a look at every single survey that people submit, and based off that feedback, we then go and make changes to the show. And that is part of the entire eXp family, by the way. Any sort of survey that you fill out, all the decisions we make are coming from feedback from our agents. So as always, I'm your host, Felix Bravo, Vice President of International Growth here at eXp Realty. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to share more about what's happening in Egypt, but also what's happening in some of the other new countries. And I'll drop a little teaser here. eXp is going to open a new market that we haven't announced yet. So we might have something coming really soon in terms of announcements. There might be another country in 2025, or 2 or 3 or 4. I'm not sure, but I'm sure you guys will find out soon on this show. So thank you for tuning in. I'm your host. Talk to you guys later.